talk football and current events, sitting and chatting with the very best guests, with two Scottish boys and we're loving it. So if you like witty banter, check the former #1 podcast on iTunes, Sitting and Chatting.
Hello and welcome back to the Sitting and Chatting podcast. I'm Whyte.
I'm Allan.
And I'm Fleming.
Graham, thank you very much for coming back on. Appreciate it.
It's not a problem.
It has been 3.5 years since we last had you on this.
That long. Feels, Without the Sit and Chat podcast, it feels a lot longer. It's been a dreary 3.5 years.
He's a sick up already. We'll love him for it.
Put my cock away there.
You know, you could say my life lacked purpose until this very moment.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with it, because at the end of the day, I feel like my life lacks purpose until a Wednesday evening, to which we then record these podcasts today, like a couple of days.
I'm getting a wee bit teary-eyed and all
You
this.
don't need any of the podcast awards or the Oscars
Never
or
mind all
anything.
that.
It's just the praise of your humble Graham Fleming.
Who needs life? Because life is the podcast. You feel me? A Wednesday evening is arguably the best night of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Amateur football zones such as Beechwood are playing, but you're missing that for this one. We move.
It's Beechwood. I mean,
Camus Barnes playing as well. We're away, we fucking move, because honestly, I'll tear up.
But
when there's honours to be won,
This
knowing
is
how
such-
good we were at six-side football.
Exactly. Missing such quality fucking talent such as fucking Beechwood.
Anyway, we move. Shall we start off with the war?
I mean, I'm more than happy to do that.
So, Graham, yeah, well, I know you're the biggest fan and you listen to every single one of these. However, there's obviously been a new addition for those guests that might not have seen behind Graham. We now have a new board. It's called the Shite and Quality Wall, in case you couldn't guess. The further up this way it goes, the more quality it is. The further down that way it goes, the shiter it is. Safe to say last week's one was probably the most controversial that we've had so far in terms of disagreements. But
Chris Sam was here.
Yeah,
I mean, for the most part, we keep it fairly civilised. But
Aye.
reasonably. Shall we let the guest pick the first one out of the wonderful envelope?
The envelope is finna for it. Not getting fuller.
Yeah, needs filling up soon.
I won't look.
You will need to look at some point.
What you got?
I have.
It says on the back.
Working man's game of pool.
Oh, pool, the sport of pool.
So is it the sport of pool or is it plain pool?
I'll just say like everything encompassing pool.
Right, okay. Do you understand the concept of what we're doing here?
So if you could run me through it once, so that I don't.
Well, primarily,
embarrass
right, you've pulled it pool, right?
myself. I have.
So as a trio here, we're going to discuss the pros and the cons of, i.e., the sport of pool and or playing pool, and the purpose it gives you to life,
Right.
and whether you believe it's shite or quality.
And obviously,
A complex system.
farther down that we go, the shitter it is, the further up
So if
we
you
go.
take a wee look over your left shoulder there, you'll see in the very top quality we have
I've already seen some
The old
disagreements
telephone
that
Nah, what do you mean? Right, actually, no, let's start. What are the disagreements you would have?
I'm
I
seeing,
mean, nothing's getting moved, I'm just warning you now, but feel free to disagree.
I'm seeing. Oh, I thought that was crime.
We do not understand the
We
chat
do
for
endorse
most.
crime.
Yeah, I was like, crime is absolutely quality. I'm seeing FIFA at the top there as well, near the top, and I would have that more down the shite category.
Nah,
And
yeah.
again, we'll just go straight on. So, like I say, you pulled it pool, right? So, in general, the sport of pool,
Quality game.
utter shite.
I'm going to edge on the air of quality.
What? Why are you saying it's shite? Do you not enjoy
The
going
sport-
down to the...
Right, no.
Alright,
Sport of pool, utter shite.
okay.
What you would watch,
Like, do you mean watching on the
Oh,
TV
right,
and that?
okay,
the sport in general is garbage.
Okay.
Right? And the rules are fucking stupid.
Right.
But playing it,
Mm-hmm.
different gravy. Arguably, what gives you purpose at the pub.
Once you get a couple of players that are like above a certain like skill ceiling, it gets much. I think it would get worse. As you said, like if two really good people are playing it, it does get a bit cut and dry.
So, I'll give you an example. The other week, Duncan came back for being working away down south. He wanted to go out. We went out on a Sunday afternoon, random Sunday afternoon. We went to the cinema, watched the new Space Jam movie, utter shite. Anyway.
Was that his choice? Or yes.
Absolutely. To be fair, I was sceptical of watching, but it was fucking shite. However, we then went from there across to Morrison's, to which we then had food, a couple of beverages, went to the pool table.
The works.
We fucking slung a pound in, we're on this table next. And the guy went like that, let's do 2v2s. I mean, you get a challenge like that, you can't help it. So me and Duncan played pool. When I tell you this, I'm no bullshit. We were there for 3.5 years, playing the same cunts, and we were literally splitting in them. We were up 8 games, and they weren't gearing up.
You've got to respect that, to be fair.
They got a game. They got a game at us just before we hit the 10, so it was 9-1.
Yeah.
And they says, we'll call it quits here. No more. You've got your game. I get why. It is what it is. I mean, we were using the back end of the pool queue. We were thrashing. But put me and Duncan against each other, you cunt. Oh, what? You'll maybe get out 3 games before we want to kick each other's cunt. Because he takes a piss. He moves balls behind your back. That's the type of cunt.
I'll also as well give an example. Away for Big Ewan Boyle's 25th birthday, we're going bowling. We're just waiting in the meantime, playing a bit of pool with Sam. Me and Ewan were grannying Sam and his wee brother. It was fucking spectacular. All I needed to do was pot the black. I pot the black. As it's going, the white ball stops just before it. Sam runs over, whacks it in, goes around celebrating, saying that he stopped the granny and we lost, and he would not let up for the full night that we did not granny him. See, if you play people like that, pool is then the most infuriating sport at all the time.
Aye, but I think it gives you that extra element of being at the pub. Because being at the pub and having a chat with your mates is good, but that extra
a wee game's good as well.
Extra element of let's do something else you can get kind of most people involved with. And, like you say, if you play with 2 people that's good, it becomes a bit tedious, a bit boring. But if you're playing as a bit of banter,
a bit average, 2 average players.
And if you maybe are in like 2 groups of 2, if you have 2 average players and one amazing and one shite together, it makes it a bit more interesting.
So no, it's for me, I lean more on the quality side for that.
100%.
But for actual watching it, pool is utter garbage.
If we were to talk about snooker, I would put it all the way to the shite. Category.
For watching or for playing?
Playing. Because I'm not, you have to be really quite good at it to actually enjoy it.
I mean, the table's about 800 foot long. It takes a week to walk to the other side of one.
Primarily, you need white ball. You need to be able to control the white ball.
Yeah,
you've not got that in your
which
locker.
I can't do.
You've not got that in your locker.
I'm great at potting the white ball. I'm fucking fantastic at that.
I know, I've seen that. Well, I'll let you do the honours because
okay, so you're taking everything into account, which is fair enough, I suppose. Maybe about like there.
I'd say it's higher than that.
Yeah, what better than pies?
Pool is definitely better than the Queen. Come on.
Right, okay, now put it back actually. He's still there. In fact, the Queen should be further up.
No, we're not getting back on this fucking discussion once more. Absolutely not. No.
See, this is a man here that knows what
no. Why did you get him started?
this man knows what he's talking about.
I regret my decision.
The Queen should be so far close to the door.
No. Queen should be a little bit further down, but we'll leave it there.
As far up there as possible. Anyway,
move.
Because you're wrong.
I've watched snooker on the telly. I've no I played it, but I cannot the pots are so tiny.
I mean, it's the game of snooker. To play it is a pain in the ass. I've done it a few times, and although I'm quite good at it because I've got control of the white ball, see the vision you require for 4 or 5 shots ahead. It's just mad.
I played with a mate who plays regularly. He's in the club or whatever, and he plays, and I play against him. I just can't. I just can't
hack it.
I'm getting so good at I'm just getting whacked.
Whacked with the keeper.
So this might make us seem a bit, how shall we say, unsophisticated. Classical music. Where's your opinion? Are you already
start out the door? Unreal.
No. Think about it this way, right? We can't have it all the way out the door for the main reason we need to make it look more even on this side, so we need at least part way over.
See, the thing is, like, I've never really classical music to me is instrumental and fucking no. But it's the way I see it, the way I think, the way my brain interprets is it's very much like jazz music.
Right.
But
I can enjoy jazz music
can
a lot
enjoy,
more
yeah.
than I
Yeah,
could.
I picked Frank Sinatra
Yeah.
in that sort of category. What an artist, you know.
He was alright, I have to say.
He was. It was some fucking artist, right? But
Some gangster as well.
I don't know if I would claim that as classical music.
No,
but I think
no,
some
no,
people
no,
would.
no. No, absolutely not. I'm talking about like proper, like orchestral styled like music.
So shite. Orchestra shite.
No. However, though, I will say I do have one incredible experience with classical music as such. Coming back after the Euros final. What a game, by the way. What a final. What was I saying? Anyway. Come back home, had a few drinks. I thought, fuck it, let's crack up Nostradamus. Just fucking full blast on the Alexa. And that is getting blaring as some Scottish/Italian fans are going down and they're saying, put it louder. It was an incredible atmosphere.
That tune alone is top tier.
Yeah. But we have to judge it over the full.
Oh, no.
The Apprentice theme tune gets you well.
Oh,
gets
that's a
fired
very,
up for
very
week
good
for
point.
Apprentice, like.
That is a good point. What I will say is, it's utter shite.
No, it is.
The genre, shite. The music, shite.
The Apprentice, great.
Apprentice, great.
If The Apprentice is in here, which is not, it will be up there.
That one tune, banging.
Yeah.
Other than that, the category of music.
Totally agree.
There's some like video game music and stuff that uses classical styles stuff like that. It's quite good.
Well, Black Ops 1 had a few classical parts of music in their menus and that, and it was actually good, but it's not enough.
Here's the way that we'll decide this, okay? You have a gun to your head right now. You have to go and sit down, not have your phone. You have to go and watch a 3-hour live performance. One of them is a classical. No. You don't get that option. You have to go and experience
You
these.
said I got it in my head.
No. You don't have a choice.
He's put like a black foot on it. I'm changing the dynamics.
You have to go and see. You have to go and see like an orchestra being performed, or you have to go and see a musical being performed. What are you watching first?
Why was there a gun in my head? Because I want the trigger pull.
No. Right, okay.
Exactly.
Fine, ignore the gun. You have to choose one. What are you picking?
So it's what is it?
Classical music like an orchestra, or like are you going to go and see a musical?
I'll watch a musical.
So you're saying then that it's fucking lower down than this?
I'd watch a musical over that. At least a musical gives you excitement. You get to see people. And you might actually get to see some fucking naughties as well. But you fling me, mate, you're just fucking ruining my eardrums at that. No chance. I can't begin to tell you how far on this door that shite category should be. I'll happily put musical can go into quality for that. That's how shite that is.
Right, I'm saying we move musicals a tiny bit over to the right and then put classical music there.
Shite,
No. I think just so we have a better even spread on the board.
I couldn't care about the spread.
Fine then. It looks like.
I don't need it.
Fine then. It looks like I'm been
outvoted.
outvoted. Right.
You know what I mean? Hey, look.
It's such a
It's on the wall. It's on the first.
Can we even? No, we can't just about see it on the camera.
You don't deserve to see it. No point in seeing it. It's fucking shit.
About your eyes.
I'm gobsmacked that's even a category. If anything, it's pissed me off.
That's why we do it, so we can have more spread.
Yeah, cunt. This is my kind of category.
What is it?
A munchie box.
Oh, that caused a stir last
It's caused me a
episode.
bit of stir in the podcast. I'm not
Do you
lying.
explain what happened for the viewers?
I was having a a delightful scran munchie box, mini munchie box. Yeah. It was a
Yeah, I mean, I will cut you some slack here. The munchie box was about half the size of my Mac.
It was a mini munchie box, right? You pay fucking £5 for it, and honestly, it's a banging scran. And I offered Sam some food, offered Liam some food. Both turned me down, a screamer. But then I proceeded to scran through this munchie box during said podcast with Sam, to which his fucking family then slaughtered me, saying I should have shared it. The fucking cunts. Little did they know. Sam never backed me up, cunt. Little did they know I'd offered to be fucking gimp some of it prior to us starting. But you know what? It's a traumatic time to move.
Thanks for being the most viewed guest, Sam.
Aye, prick.
On YouTube,
In general,
not Spotify.
right? I've had a few.
Still a greedy bastard.
in general, though, munchie box, right? I've had a couple on the podcast before. And what a delightful scram, honestly.
They are class.
Not only fills I get, but it can be shared. Yeah, you can't get better scrambling.
It's fucking Scotland's one of Scotland's finest inventions, of which we have many.
The term munchie box is quite broad these days, though. You've got the
Yeah,
the
true.
normal
Actually,
one,
that's a very
and
good
you've got
one.
the Chinese munchie box.
But that's the thing, though. All of them are still classed to an extent. The only thing I can't stand in a munchie box is when they place chicken pakora with mushroom pakora. That's a working, in my
That should
opinion.
be a
See, the
time
thing
worth
is,
of
you
like
get
40
mixed,
years.
you just go for simple chicken.
I mean, like, I
You
would.
can actually ask for just chicken.
No, certain places are bastards and they'll only do mushroom
Right.
and mixed,
So,
which fucking death
here's-
penalty.
Here's what I think, right? Mixed pakora can be in amongst the munchie box, right? What's fucking criminal is cheese and the chips, and then
You die like cheesy chips.
I don't like the chips, and there's so many there's so much of the
Just
chips.
grab the cheese off of them.
Honestly, half of the box is fucking chips. Get your chips to fuck.
I will say the Chinese ones can be good when they're like salt and peppered and that
Oh,
way.
yeah.
They're
Aye,
good.
that's
Like,
different.
yeah, yeah.
because, but see, like an Indian munchie
Ah, yeah,
box,
where it's just plain
take the
chips.
chips and get them to fuck.
Yeah.
There's no requirements. Did
Yeah.
I ask for a munchie box with chips? No, I asked for a munchie box.
Get rice chucked in there.
Right, aye, I'll take rice. Give me more salad. Watch me. I didn't care. Get the chips out my face.
The salad is the underrated bit.
I love
The
salad
takeaway
at the
is
Indian, by the way.
the onions and like just add something.
Coleslaw
to it.
as well.
It's
The
fucking
ensemble.
top tier, man. The salad at an Indian is it is top fucking tier.
So, I think we're all in agreement. It's quite high then,
Oh,
so where we
Oh,
put
yeah,
it.
of course.
I'll let you guesstimate where we
It's better than pizza.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we'll go about here. Do you think that's fair?
A scooch to the right.
You thinking more?
Nah, it's not higher.
Better than Minecraft?
Nah, it's not part of it. I'd love a munchie box while playing Minecraft,
This is a combined.
That's how you judge everything in life, isn't it?
that is, in fact, you know what? Flying BT's put up there as well. The three of them together, we are cunt. That was a Saturday night I won. Immediately.
Right, go on, number 4.
Yeah.
On you go, guest.
right.
We always do 5 each week.
How many you want? Fucking hell.
That's another food one I'm seeing here.
Oh, this is another cuisine related
Oh.
question. It's the honest Chinese takeaway. As we previously just touched on there. What we
Right,
all
here's
think.
my dialogue. Right, I've fucking started this off with everyone, so I'll carry on.
We know how passionate you are about
Oh,
this
I'm a
one.
little bit biased.
This was how...
In general, you know.
I'm a little bit biased because a couple of weeks ago I did order a order for the Chinese and they did forget my chips. I had to go without.
I'm not even kidding.
So it's-
No, Chinese salt and pepper
Automatic,
chips
all
are...
the way down into the shite.
Uh,
Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Chinese.
The way I see a Chinese, right,
Mm.
it would be my second choice out of 3 fast food, not fast food, but 3 takeaways.
What is your first Indian?
Indian,
Yeah.
Chinese, and you know what, fucking anything, then a chippy. Is the way I see
That's
it. Right?
probably the way I would go as well.
Right, so here's the thing. An Indian, that's my go-to. Because there's a variety that I
Yeah.
could have. But the Chinese, genuinely, right? Probably in my last 5 visits, I've had the exact same fucking thing. And I always get a chicken curry, chicken chopped up. Yeah, that right there is brilliant. But I do like salt and pepper.
Salt and
Usually
pepper,
cheese and
salt and pepper chicken or beef is fucking foul.
But I
It's
feel
so
like I
good.
can only have that if I'm having like a munchie box with somebody. I would never go to the Chinese and order that.
The undisputed holy trinity has to be salt and pepper chicken, rice, and curry sauce.
It's class. It's
So
fucking
like
class.
I've
I will
never
say.
experienced this.
Oh mate, you've
man,
been missing out on
oh,
life.
okay.
Take it away.
I will say, right, I will say though, because of the variety thing, like it's not, I wouldn't say it's as good as an Indian. Like, on a personal preference, because I mean, let's face it, this is all personal preference anyway.
Yep.
I think it's not quite as good as the Munchie Box, but I'd maybe have it around kind of the BT level, because it is still a pretty decent food choice most of the time. But I think with a Munchie Box, it's cheap, it's cheerful, you get a wee bit more variety than the Chinese one as well.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
What about you, Graham? How would you put it? If you
I
were
think
to have it?
it's one of the pillars of Scottish society. I think it definitely merits a space on the upper echelons of the quality board.
We do appreciate that, Graham, but what we would say in regards to that is we also don't care what the guest thinks at the end of the day.
Oh,
you're
right,
kind of
okay.
here. You're kind of here to like we listen to your opinion, but we just don't put it anywhere where you say. We just-
See, my problem is, right, is
Because like you're away after this, like we won't have you maybe for another 3.5 years, but
Submit.
but we have to live with this board on a weekly basis.
It's
I'm
alright.
not funny. I'm struggling to live with it. I've just realised that the Queen is at the same level as Pie and Greg's, man.
That's we went over this last week.
That's so fucking depressing.
I'll put it Chinese.
I'd
on
rather
my
have the
videos,
Queen
but-
than have a Chinese. That's the God's honest truth.
And there's the title of the podcast.
Honestly, that is the truth. I'm not even kidding on.
Right, but once again, that was last week. We moved.
Right. Before we go into our final one, right?
Right.
Obviously, I've had a wee gander there.
Right.
Again, at the board, right?
Okay.
No, obviously, we're not pissed off about it.
What are you about to ask me to
No,
move?
no. Oh, you fucker. No. What I'm going to say is, based on one of our last... no, you know what? Pick the last one.
Oh, no, I'll let you.
Pick the last one.
Oh, you're asking me. I appreciate
Aye.
that.
That's what we've done. Fine. Alright, it's back to you.
Oh, Reddit, the social media platform.
On you scroll,
Dear,
honestly.
dear.
This is yours.
I am a reader of.
I am a reader of Reddit.
Is that a sentence you want to put?
Yeah.
I am.
Is that what you,
I'm literate.
do you want to say that with chest? Is that when they be me?
That's it. I take
one
it.
more time for us.
I take it back. That's the title of the podcast. I read Reddit. Graham Fleming. I read.
Occasionally, I had to like. It was a bit like too much for me. I had to delete the app on my phone. It was like.
I mean, so,
I have
in quotations, you just said, I'm a reader of Reddit.
I will say right. So, like, say the actual like app or website or whatever you want to call it. I do partially respect them for this, but it's the shittest interface out of any social media platform.
I think you guys are very skeptical of it, but I think
I don't
it's one
mind
of those
it.
ones where like as soon as you fall into like into the habit of reading it and finding things that you like on it, then you get sucked in and you'll become and you'll like it. I think. And you'll be-
I'm not a big user. I will say, like I use it very seldomly, and when I do, it's normally about 20 minutes. But there's such an overload of things on it that I don't often like go that much into
There
it.
is an outstanding amount of wankers on it. I'm going to tell you that. It's,
That's not just for every social media
yeah,
platform.
that's it.
Aye, but these are special breed incels on this one.
Yeah, I don't like posting anything up. I just read it. It's good for finding like communities about like certain games or like films stuff that you like.
I think potentially the good does outweigh the bad nowadays. I think maybe like 5 or 6 years ago it might have been the other way, but I think now enough normal people use it where it's probably alright
It
nowadays.
does have features such as like that could be taken on as other platforms like downvoting and things like that.
Mm.
Like other platforms are skeptical to take on like dislikes or what you call it, but
Yeah.
like being able to filter out shit content with like people downvoting it is quite actually a handy tool to like weed out
I suppose.
like
So it's only stuff you actually should be looking at really is there. In a
yeah,
sense.
if someone's been like a huge racist or whatever, like or like being like just out of line. Like,
I knew
they'll be
you should
downvoted-
have had a Reddit account.
they'll be downvoted to hell and then they'll get banned and like every separating a subreddits and they're all like there's people that get paid to moderate it.
Mm.
So like basically sit on the computer all day and read Reddit and
Your dream job?
yeah, of course my application's in the post mate. Let me know.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think it's well credit to them. I don't think it's as what do you call it, like social media. Most these days is all about image. I don't think this one is as much compared to the other ones. Obviously, still
Yeah.
it's about your image
It's
and how
very
you perceive
text-based.
yourself. Yeah. It's not as in your face, I would say, as other ones. Go on, Graham. Since you appear to have used it a lot more than me, and definitely Jamie, where would you say it belongs on the board?
I think
Because we will actually take your opinion on this time.
I've got no opinion, so feel free to.
I think with any social media platform, I think it does as much good as it does bad. So I think I've placed
You place it on the line.
on the line. Yeah,
I'm willing to accept that if you want to place it there.
it's not as good as like Lamborghini.
I mean,
I mean, can I just quickly, what do you feel about the Lamborghinis? Well, sports supercars being sat in that very position. Agree, disagree?
You've aired it on the side of shite,
Correct.
which is a little bit. I wouldn't have thought it would be there. It's like I thought like
well, there was a big discussion about this last week.
what were the points made?
Well, I wanted it kind of like airing on the quality, whereas Jamie wanted it all the way down at the very bottom of
I
shite.
just think supercars are shite. They serve no purpose.
I mean, it's just for showing off, isn't it? Like,
Exactly. But it's for
Exactly,
hunters.
that's what I want to be.
Remember I told you the story about an edit.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's total fucking gimps at driving.
I do like the sort of like.
That's why I one day will have one.
Like, if I have a lot of money, I'd probably get one. But like at the same time, like the other day,
What would be the one?
I saw like a McLaren P1 driving down the Falkirk Centre, and I was like, why would you buy that?
That's worth more than the whole of Falkirk High Street
just
put
outside the
together.
Falkirk Stadium.
What?
It was probably a Falkirk player.
Yeah, maybe.
You get one car. Sharpening. You get one car, supercar you can buy, own, have. What would it be?
So the McLaren, I do like the McLarens. Like,
Right, okay. So I give you a budget of 50k.
you're not getting much far with that.
Not exactly right, but 50k, right? A brand new motor. What motor are you buying?
See, I hate this question.
Shut up.
I
I'm not
fucking
that
hate
familiar
this
with the market.
question.
I'm not like.
Right,
I fucking hate this question.
what's your car? What's your go-to? Like, what's your favourite
I-
car in a reasonable price range?
like for altogether, it's like the word I'm looking for, like
Functionality.
functionality. Yes, functionality, and like just like
Looking good.
yeah, it's like I've got a Ford Fiesta, so I think
Right.
I enjoy it.
There's my type of car.
Right, okay. But again, you gave him a budget of 50k. You can't even get a new Beamer these days for that
Who wants
price.
a Beamer? I wouldn't.
No, but I'm just saying though, for that price, you're not really getting that much
You can get a more than
anymore.
adequate Audi. You can get an RS3 for that. What's your point? You get an RS3.
Because
an
if you
A5.
say pre-owned, because I would be, if I had
the
50
pre-owned
grand,
bitch.
I'd still be getting a pre-owned car.
That's because you're a peasant. Listen, right?
That is true, but what's your point?
You've got 50k and you're getting a pre-owned vehicle.
I'm getting a pre-owned Aston Martin.
Well,
Yes,
there's no reason to get
100%.
a brand new spanking new car. To be fair,
No, but I'm telling you, like, that is the question. You get
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So you get a brand new car. You can get a brand new RS3, you get a brand new A5, brand new A4.
Right,
You can get an M3 Sport.
right.
These are better cars than fucking kicking about in a Lamborghini that you're driving like this the whole time because you don't want to.
because you're absolutely shooting yourself for a
Exactly.
speed bump.
What is the point?
If anything, then that makes me a safer driver and for the public.
Ah, but you
Supercars
didn't
are saving lives.
You didn't buy a Ferrari like to be a safe
Right.
driver, did
Right, either way, same with the Queen, we're not getting back any of this. But,
you? Oh, we fell into the exact same
I know.
discussion that probably happened.
it's
On the topic
literally
of-
exactly
on the
the same.
topic of-
No more about the Queen. I'm fed up with the fucking Queen.
I'm surprised, but now, given the discussion, I'm less surprised.
Was that number 5?
That was a fucking-
Okay. These started off, the first like 4 or 5 of these started off so tame, and now we've really gone to the juicy ones of it.
Aye.
There's only a few that I'd probably disagree with.
I mean, everything's in the correct place, there's no disagreement.
There's absolutely no room for discussion.
What I'll do is I'll swiftly move on for the board before I bring up the Queen again. On the topic of the board, right, just up far right of the Queen there, stand-up comedians, right? Obviously, it leads us straight into our next fucking topic because we've got to talk
Big Sean Locke,
about Sean Locke.
That is gone. That is. Did you see the news?
Very sad. Yeah, I did see it.
Arguably one of my favourite,
Yeah, he's so good.
based
man.
off probably 8 out of 10 cats. Does count
Yeah,
him
yeah.
alone. He was unfucking real in that show.
I seen him live.
What the was quality as well. to be fair.
I seen him live about 8 years ago now, I think it was. Funny as fuck. And I mean, literally, like, the entire, I'm not shouting the entire last 10, they had like a segment about the show where he was basically talking about like what would be the coolest animal in the world to be, and he just basically decided it would be a centaur, you know, like half horse, half like man. So the very last 10 minutes, he came out in like full fucking centaur like outfit, trying to like walk around while clearly someone's in the back. But the guy like lost his foot and during it like slipped, and he was just pissing himself laughing on the stage, and obviously everyone else is then pissing themselves laughing as well. Funniest fucking bloke going, man,
Aye,
he's
right,
so
he was-
sad.
Just an effortless type of funny.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like, you'd always like, maybe in the background, but like a funny like one.
Aye, one liner.
To sort of
I
like.
think I seen a clip, obviously, the most famous clip of him is the carrot in the box.
Yeah, the cat
Yeah,
in the
intense.
box.
Cat's done his countdown, and it's like he performs like the best bluff
Yeah.
ever. And just that alone is like, he's quick wit and his humour was fucking second to none.
he's also as well like it was always a start a countdown where him and obviously all the other guests would have like their prop of the week and that, and the stupid
The
shit.
shit,
Like,
What was it? Was he 58 or 52?
58 and then
58.
yeah.
58 man cancer took him. Far too.
No.
What a fucking.
Do you know what as well? It's actually pretty like say if like you go back and listen to like some of the shows, like some of them has such a gravelly voice from obviously like the cancer and that of it. So nah, R.I.P. to him and respect to his family and friends. You know, hopefully in a better place now.
Horrible shit, but aye, I seen it's like that Joe Wilkinson, Jimmy Carr putting up stuff.
Yeah, like I came back from flat hunting and literally just popped up straight away. It's like I said, it's that way of like whenever I get a BBC notification, it's always a celebrity's name. I always like, oh fuck, that's someone that's dead, without even needing to read the rest of it. It's just like, oh, fuck's sake.
Gutting time. But we move swiftly on from the depressing side of it.
Aye, go on then. Back to the main man, the G-bomb. So I'm trying to think of who we've had as returning guests on. We've had Dylan, we've had Ewan, and we've had Fergus back as return. So you're the fourth that we've had that's came back on the show. Firstly, thank you.
No problem.
But obviously, you know, you're the longest since that we've had someone back. Like, I mean, Dylan's on basically every fucking month at this point, and I mean. You know, we've had, you know, Ewan's been on a couple of times, and Fergus was like a year's wait, but you were like the longest. Now, obviously, because I actually done a wee bit of research before this, i.e. I listened to parts of the old podcast, and obviously I realised at that time you had just finished the same course that we had done. We were just going into the summer holidays.
A lot has happened.
oh, how things have changed. So, what happened for second year, Graham? Did you join me on the course then?
I purposely chose not to continue. I just wasn't able to do it. I didn't meet some requirements for some of the classes and opted not to. I had a couple of options to continue, but none of which I could continue with my same year group. So I thought at that time it was a great opportunity to regroup and do work for like a year, and then think of something new to do.
Took a full gap year out as well, which, I mean, to be fair, like when we all started, although it might not look on camera, Graham was the baby of the group, the youngest by quite a distance.
Yeah.
Which
may not look it.
No, I mean like the beard mainly does it. Is what I'm meaning. Okay. But like, you were 17 when we first started, though, weren't you?
Yeah, aye. I was mostly the youngest, and I don't know, maybe not as mature as some of the other like class members and things like that. You know.
He doesn't mean to point, but I'll do it.
You know, of course, obviously, Liam the most mature, and
I'm the most responsible adult as ever lived.
Yeah, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work out. It wasn't maybe as concentrated and focused as maybe I am today. So, I thought it was all in all. I thought it was a good move to take anyway, and it's worked out for the better in the final year of university. It's still in university right now, so I think it's worked out
pretty well in the end.
Somewhat decently.
So, like, what did you do then for your year off? Did you have like a plan before you took the gap year, or did you just wing it?
No, I just saw some options that I got given by the college at the end, and I just didn't like it, and so I just thought I had my part-time job, so I thought I'll just go full-time. I'll just take hours there, and you know, it's not as glamorous as backpacking over Europe or whatever, but you know, I did.
You try to tell me Falkirk isn't as glamorous as Europe.
No, I did.
No.
Falkirk is kind of like the Fife of the Stirling area.
That's a harsh one.
That is a bold claim which I will refute.
On the topic of that, just momentarily, we'll go back to what you were saying. I've been in Fife a couple of times.
What, recently?
Yes.
Well, do you want to explain your reasoning? Like, because why? Mainly.
So one time, right, I get a bit flustered talking about this.
He doesn't want to admit it.
Me and Fife don't get on.
It must have been the new Rangers trip to the Cow and Beef.
Absolutely fucking not. You know, follow near and far, but you fucking stay far away from it. was always my mentality. But so Taylor, for the show that you know, we went to, there was a place called Sweet Sensations. It's in Dunfermline to try it because apparently it's banging. Everyone raves about it.
And what was it?
It was fucking incredible.
I was really hoping you were just going to say it. Let's try it.
Real talk, honestly. So we went. It was in Dunfermline, right? We went to Sweet Sensations. We got our food. We got it for free, by the way. Unbelievably.
Why?
Apparently we waited too long. Whenever. Anyway, we got free scran. I drove round at the waterfront.
He's actually been paid for the podcast to say it's class. That's the only reason.
We sat at the waterfront, ate the food.
We stopped to bring you a message from Sweet Sensations.
Look at life. One of the best nights I've had.
Right.
It just so happened it had to be in Fife. But you know, it's just a sign, do you know what I mean? Welcome to the kingdom of Fife. You know what I mean? Fuck it off. Bargain. Smelly fucking bastards with their shitty accents. But,
and web taste.
Aye. Fucking...
You're preaching unto the competitor. I don't need any reason to
you know
swag
what
on them permanently.
See if you get out of the shower, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, you go downstairs. You're still, you're in the scud.
I've not even put a towel on yet. I'm just...
No, you're in the scud.
I'm
That's what I'm
sipping
saying.
wet.
You're in the
I've
scud.
walked downstairs.
You fling a house coat on, right? You need to go to the bank and get the washing in because the rain's coming down.
Right.
You fling on what? No, don't say shoes. What's the alternative? What's the first thing you would fling on?
Like, just in general?
Aye. No. You've only
No. For your feet. For your feet.
Right. Okay, so slippers.
There you go, slippers.
Slippers, yeah.
Do you know what 5 people call it? Baffies.
I've heard that. It's a shocking patter. Like,
Baffies.
it's almost as bad as bread cakes.
It's the most
They
disgusting.
call it bread cakes.
No, I think that's an English thing.
Oh, fucking hell.
Baffies is disgusting. That
it's
word
horrific.
makes me spew inside. Disgusting. Anyway, enough of the thing. We'll move back on. But genuinely, right, one of the best experiences I've had. And if you are ever into it, go to Sweet Sensations. It is fucking banging.
We stopped now to bring you a message from Sweet Sensations.
You know what? Cut the name out. Fuck them, right?
I'm not bleeping that. We said it about 6 times.
Like, all I'm saying is, it is fucking delightful.
Mm.
I've got the app on my phone and I'm not removing. That's how good it
We're
was.
going to do a live field trip to
Aye.
Dunfermline.
I'm not bad at it. I'm not fucking bad.
Vlog.
It was great. Anyway, momentarily, we crossed the bridge here.
Literally into Kincardine.
Yes. However, we will go back. Falkirk is not the Fife or Stirling, but we moved.
It's
Falkirk
the Los Angeles of Stirling.
They are both shite, to be fair, so he does have a point. Lots of high crime rate. It's not wrong.
No, see, the one thing I will say about Falkirk, right, is that in general, the area, it's hosted one of the most best Scottish videos of all time.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know,
Good for you.
the Grangemouth train station.
The battle.
The battle is.
I was like, where are we going with this? I totally remember.
That's, you know what I mean? That right there is a piece.
I was present at that game.
See, it's a piece of Scottish history.
I was there.
For those that don't know what you're talking about, do you want to explain maybe a wee bit?
Well, as soon as you were there, feel free to hit us with it.
Aye, what was your events on the day like?
The story all begins on a cold, brisk November, I think, afternoon, where Falkirk football team were scheduled to play Hibs, in which Falkirk came out the victors. A goal from David McCracken.
Jesus, he does remember a lot, holy shit.
This is Scottish history.
In the last 10 minutes or so. And it was I think it was that game. It was either that one or it was one of the playoff games. It was either one, but
We moved.
yeah,
It was definitely Hibs you played.
It was Falkirk v Hibs. It
was.
definitely was.
Right.
And at home. And obviously, the disgusting Hibs hooligans had frequented the Falkirk train station, presumably by the video that we're talking about, got into some sort of altercation with the Falkirk faithful. And of course, both parties were sort of wanting to fight.
But they also didn't
really want to get their clothes dirty. Or
the Stone Island's expensive these days, you know.
You know, the clobber is hard to get your hands on. And, you know, you don't want to go home to your bird or your mum or whatever, and you've got a wee black eye or whatever. So we thought, what's the closest you can get to fighting without actually touching each other? And of course, Maybe we can link the video in the description or something like that. But yeah, they had a wee bit of a Scottish Highland dance off sort of thing.
It was a dance off, but it's one of the funniest videos. There was one or two punches thrown,
One or two.
and I think there was a grab.
A bit of a skiff. Like a skiff.
Granted,
Oh, yeah.
there was a grab at the top.
There might have been a slight scratch on the face.
But arguably one of the funniest videos I've watched.
Yeah, like, they are not exaggerating. It's literally a dance. It's just two sets of guys running about 10 feet away from each other and then running back and then running 10 feet from each other.
It was quite something. And, you know, that's due to Falkirk area, you know.
Yeah,
And Falkirk has brought us great history.
It has.
The
People are always up for a good laugh.
The only other...
What's Fife brought us?
Sweet
Sweet
sensations.
fuck all.
Sweet sensations.
Sweet fuck all.
Honestly, I don't think you can name
Yeah.
the one hand.
There is probably something, but you are right, I can't think of something.
Did you think of something for Fife?
No, even Falkirk.
The steam engine not made in Fife, actually.
We'll move on.
Might not be. But Falkirk brought
To be
us.
fair, I genuinely think that's where the Harry Potter train goes through.
No, it's that's West Coast.
Has it?
Falkirk brought us the TV and Iron Brew.
Those are two good things, I will give you that. Wait, he's from Falkirk?
John Logie Beer, yes.
Fuck me.
There's
All of an area's talent was comprised into one man, and
There's a
that
flag
was
going
it.
outside Howgate. What's happened to it?
Don't talk about that place. Real talk for a second though, right? Iron Brew has fucking fell off massive.
Yeah, it's had a bit of a downfall.
It's fell off massive. It's gone. It's the same way, like we spoke about this other week, like Coca Cola in general, right?
They stuck to their guns.
Stuck to their guns, but it became utter shite. Unless it's at a glass bowl abroad, it's not the same. I don't know if it's just me because I fucking hate fizzy just now, but I feel like Coca Cola doesn't
He
taste.
says I was drinking a can of Diet Coke.
It's full fat. Then let's go with that. Right?
Right, yeah.
I don't know if it's just me that because I don't drink sugar drinks anymore that I just don't see the same taste. But I just don't think Coca Cola's as good anymore.
It's just that sort of thing, isn't it? Once you get a wee bit older, you lose the appeal for all the fucking sweeteners and shit like that, isn't it?
I suppose.
Because your teeth are just fucking falling out.
But you know what? Falkirk, I can't fault the area other than junkies and the Howgate.
The junkies are a huge problem.
Aye.
I mean, where else are they going to go?
To be fair though, I was in Allan the other day and we can't nothing tops that place.
That is incredible. That is
It's a
incredible.
dive place.
So
It's
wonderful.
got a great KFC. I have to give it to it.
So it's got a wonderful football team.
Fucking dive.
And also the Soccer Casual King.
I fucking dive.
The Wasps. What a football team.
Oh no. Used to be a season ticket holder well back in the day. But anyway, yeah, going back. So you worked full time then for a year. How was that? Did you feel like at that point were you getting the itch to go back to maybe uni, or did you feel like you wanted to keep doing that?
To sort of like prove myself, sort of thing. I was let down. I let myself down.
I don't think you let yourself down. I think I'll be totally honest with you. I think you got quite unlucky at the end of the day.
You know, you can say that, like, and you can also say that, like a football game, you got unlucky, but you still lost. You know what I mean? That's what I think of myself. I think I should have done better there, and I say.
I mean, I respect you for that, but at the same sort of regard as well, you remember I was out literally getting pissed every single night, and I still passed. So I mean, you know, I didn't cover myself in much glory either in that time, but I still passed.
And that's what spurred. I was desperate to get back in the classroom and to show what I could do, and I think I think I was really. I was anxious to get back in there, and I applied straight away. Like as soon as I got the opportunity, I applied straight back to it.
Obviously, you didn't do quite the same sort of course.
It's in the same realm.
So what is it you're doing now?
Journalism.
One of them.
I said that in awaiting the response from people calling me.
No,
like,
listen,
like,
just listen.
Call me some sex offenders.
No. Just
That's why he's got his Tinder bio. Journalist sex offender.
I wouldn't go that far. Just scum. But
You know, I nearly done journalism before media.
I think we got a bad rep at our age because see, like our age group, we grew up watching Green Street, and they got a massively bad rep for Green Street.
There's a lot of films. It's like that's always a bit. a stereotype sort of thing. It's like that sort of slimy journalist like
Aye.
crawling about trying to get the photos and the
Yeah.
That's
Even
it.
I don't know if
And that's what Graham does in his bowler hat with a notepad and pen going up, trying to get the scoop.
it's like I don't know if you've seen it, but have any of you seen that SWAT that's on Netflix?
SWAT?
SWAT.
No.
I've not seen
Right, so during it, like a father, like pretty much loses his wife,
Right.
and no even 40 minutes later, there's already journalists on the
Aye.
side of the road. They've not even recovered the body for the burning car. There's already a journalist there, mic in the face, camera in the face, trying to get the fucking.
In the real world,
scoop.
there's strict guidelines on that. You can't
Aye.
be getting.
Maybe not in America.
Oh, no,
In,
I
in the
can't-
UK there is.
I can't speak for America, but there is certain codes that
Mm.
people have to uphold.
But in general, that's how they get a bad rep. Do you know what I mean?
Aye,
Whereas
aye,
a
of
modern
course.
day journalist isn't even a bad guy.
Also as well, like Piers Morgan, phone hacking thing.
He's a
course.
prick.
Yeah,
He's a prick, period.
definitely.
I mean, like,
Here's a prick.
this is a bit of a dick question, but I'm actually kind of interested to hear your opinion. Obviously, you know, as all jobs have to kind of evolve these days, I suppose the argument you might have heard from other people whilst doing a journalism degree is it not kind of a dying industry at this point?
Traditional print is
Hmm.
definitely you can, and that's it's not a new trend. It's not a recent trend. It's something for the last 40 years. Something I've wrote about. It's something they're very aware of at the course there, and something you research. Like even before everyone had a super powerful computer in their hand, print news was dying. But as with any industry, it has to adapt and evolve into something new. So for like with talking with like Facebook and social media platforms, it has to find a way to reinvent itself into something new and mostly it's not getting a great deal with social media either, because a lot of the advertising money goes to your sort of Googles and Facebook, and it's not really getting its way into the hands of journalists really.
So it just shows you that the big companies own everything.
It's an ad traffic revenue like monopoly,
It's-
duopoly really with
See,
Google and Facebook.
Drink as well is maybe a wee bit more harmful as well these days, that not really many credible people are kind of getting their news from these days. It's more now sort of like, you know, Twitter or
Everyone's
like
a journalist
Instagram.
nowadays.
Yeah, that's the
Everything-
thing.
Everyone's a
So true,
journalist.
right, it's so true. I mean, I found it about Sean Mock's death via social media. A random cunt, no journalist,
Yeah.
just a random person putting up, you know, rest easy, and it's like
It's great and bad, isn't it?
He's not attempting to be a journalist. He's merely putting his views and respects on his own Twitter page. It's been retweeted by somebody I know. Boom, it's fell into your hands. It's not great, but at the same time, this one person's went on Twitter, paid their respects. I've just happened to find out he's died in that manner. Journalism's hard because see, like the stereotypical journalism is people think just papers.
Nah.
Gone by in the sun, and it's no journalist is such an evolved situation.
It's
There's
scrolling
so
through Twitter.
Aye.
It's-
Graham will be working for BuzzFeed in a year now.
Reddit is a form of journalism.
yeah,
and
Fucking hell, don't say that. You're going
it is-
to
I've
get
never used
clipped
it. I've never
badly.
used it. See, for the brief discussion, you could tell it is a form of journalism in some sense.
anyone that emails someone else or messages or goes and asks someone about something is a journalist and posts it somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and even like, I don't know if you heard, you know, the thing with Rangers, with the
What did he?
with the like, I say they have to evolve, but sometimes maybe it might not even be enough, because Rangers recently they're charging that fee for journalists to get in now.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, so I back that fully. Sorry, I thought you were going to go into something else. No, I fully back that. I think all major footballing establishments should partake in the following of Glasgow Rangers and make their cunts pay. Yes.
That statement was brought to you by Rangers Football Club Limited.
Real talk though, right? We only done that because of what happened nearly 2-3 years ago. But
Which is, for those that don't know.
nobody cares. In in general, do you agree or disagree with it?
I think the part it's like I've learned about journalism, like even the world of journalism for 3 years. That part of me says, "Oh, it's a disgrace. They should be doing it." But then, like, every club has their own in-house media, and they all have the means to like spread messages or like get news out. They don't need like these people to come in and do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's they have like the way it is now. They have the product. They have the manager. They have like the players that produce the content, that say things for people to talk about, and they need to have like the press and that need that product. So they're just saying you should pay for it. So like I can see both sides of it. Like sort of traditional pressing, that's the way it's always been done, and that's the way that I've learned about it. It's like, so maybe it should stay that way, but then at the other time, the more logical part of me thinks perhaps it's just the unnatural evolution of things. But
the way I see it is, obviously for Rangers, for example, is there's 3 memberships this year. There's obviously Rangers TV, there's My Gels, and then obviously you can have a season ticket. It's the 3 kind of methods of supporting the club, right?
Other football teams are available.
I would recommend against them. That's brought to you by Shannon Chan.
Absolutely
fully-
not. Absolutely not. I do not endorse.
Fully endorsed by Shannon Chan.
As 4
We
years should
support
say.
it so fucking much that it hurts us to even admit it. But there we go. We're gonna
As
admit
4
it.
years of this show
I'm
is
doing it
so,
for you.
I do not endorse
That's for the
anything
viewers.
this man
Honestly,
says.
that's for the viewers. You're welcome. Anyway.
Sitting chatting fully endorses Pocket Football Club.
Right, that weak Chan
That's
cannot get behind.
That's where you get caught. No, but like, so for example, I've got a season ticket. I've also got a My Gels, and also pay for Rangers TV.
As you can tell, he
Fucking
makes
shut
enough
up,
money.
mate. Now, Rangers TV, I purely have that for when it was locked in. Subscription still going. Do I need it now that we've got full houses and we can all go back? Probably no.
Aye.
My Gels, I only have that for like kind of priority interviews behind the scenes that you're not going to get unless you have it.
Aye.
So that idea there, like Katic coming back from injury, he had an interview, nobody gets to see it unless you have a My Gels. You can't record the screen unless you know, there's no way you're seeing that video unless it's put somewhere. You need to find it, and it's like no point. I'll pay for the subscription. But the way I see it is obviously after the game, we'll play Ross County on Saturday, and not even 15 minutes after the game, there'll be an interview already there for us on Rangers TV to go watch Gerard talking about the game. It would be the exact same as if the Sun was to come and cover that aspect.
There's no reason to wait now until the papers are out tomorrow morning. You like it's on your phone like an hour after the game.
But I agree and disagree. So for example, like when Sky get the games, like a big old forum, you'll never ever see Rangers TV or Celtic TV there. It'll always just be Sky's, and then
they've bought and paid for that. Right though, they've like
but that's theirs, and then they allow pressing as well. So it's like they're making it fair, if you know what I mean. So like for example, like the Metro or the Sun or whatever can come in and they can record their interview with the managers because Sky's allowed it.
Mm-hmm.
They've paid Sky to do it, and it's like they're still getting the product that you're talking about. Whereas a random league game like Aberdeen Dundee,
what a match!
It's going to be a shitey paper that covers it, and it's going to be 60 minutes after.
The Aberdeen Even and Express will not be
Aberdeen and Dundee both have the same tools that Rangers do. They still have cameras. They still have
we don't have money. That's the main difference.
I mean in terms of what we're talking about, in terms of like fan engagement and like news, like they have the same like they have a camera, they have the Wi-Fi, and they have a Twitter account. Like they need like the papers as much as Rangers do, which is not a lot because they still have the product. They can still just sell it themselves. Like they don't need a middleman. To like.
I do see where you're coming. So obviously, where do you see yourself then? Because obviously, in case those can't really tell during watching this, you're obviously a massive football fan. Is that the is that the aim for the job? Is that what you want to be involved with in journalism, or do you want to?
It'd be great to get into football and get something I'm passionate about in that. But like, I don't mind just doing anything that like comes to like any opportunity is welcome.
Do you have like an actual like goal then of what you would like to do? Is it work from home and send away a news article to BuzzFeed, or is it something different?
Just like generic goals, like cover the like the Champions League final. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought you were going to say easy goals there at first there for a second.
The Petrofac final, the Challenge Cup. No, like for example, like I'd love to be at the Scottish Cup final, like working at the Scottish Cup final, or in, like the Champions League final as well. Like those would be great opportunities, and that's sort of like a bucket list sort of thing. But all in all, if I can just break into, it's not as if I need to be like a traditional like 1940s like journalist.
That's what I hope to be honest.
It's like I'm excited about a career in like media and content creation and like communications and things like that, rather than just.
I think it's journalism like we go on real quick is again it branches into so many different elements. See, like even a live score, that is a form of journalism. You know what I mean? So if you're at games covering one game for Bet365, you know what I mean? As soon as a goal goes in, you've already like that's journalism. Would that be something you'd want to do?
Like, as I'm saying, open to any opportunities that come away. And
if you're listening, media publications.
My email, I'll send you.
Can it link in the description?
My LinkedIn.
We do charge an administration fee for obviously helping them out, but.
What does that really?
yeah, one-time payment. No, like as like working on.
I was hoping for like $1,000.
Kind of good.
I've already done work like that for like noting down games stuff like that. I've done like match reports for like my student publication Brig, and also like I do it for Stirling Uni Football Club. I work there as like a media assistant and things like that. But
which I have also helped with.
Yes.
I had to do wonderful highlight reels of Stirling of Stirling University players.
You got a healthy sum of the rewards.
Mate, I'm still cashing in that check today. Trust me.
It got him a whole munchie box.
It would have got me, to be fair. I don't know what it was used for, but something stupid probably like that. Yeah.
That's fine. We had to split it halfway down. I got the same amount as you.
Nah, listen, we lived a good life.
It's like some of that work. It can be it can be great. You're like, oh, I'm working at football, but at the same time, it can be quite grating because you're at the football game. You're like something you're supposed to enjoy, but you're like sort of like busy writing it down and like.
That's what I was going to say, because obviously you've had the opportunity as well to, if in case you couldn't tell, massive Falkirk fan. Work for obviously Falkirk during the meantime as well. Like, does that kind of get to you? Because obviously you're meant to be impartial. You can't just like jump up and celebrate when Falkirk's scoring.
Oh, trust me, I did.
And that's why he's not been back.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go down and be realistic.
No, you have to. I didn't actually, but you have to go for the silent fist pump.
But we don't score.
Like, we didn't last season, but we scored.
They're a team on the up now, Jamie.
What is it, League One still?
Yes. But you know what? It's fine. After the season, won't
you know when I first met Graham all the way back, we did say like, oh, when eventually, like, because they're in the championship at that point, like, eventually when Falkirk, go up and we'll play Aberdeen, we'll go see a game, or like if we get them in the cup, we can go up and see them play. So that was 5 years ago. We said that. It's been quite a long wait we've had.
We've had some absolute charlatans run that.
Still on the bucket list. Still on the bucket list.
For me, because I'll get to see that.
But
probably
to be fair though, you should get each other in the cup at some point.
At some point, yeah.
It's not been.
Could be this season.
If it does, that would be good. I'd fucking hate it.
Who you've got in the cup? The Premier Sports one.
Is that the Challenge Cup? Oh, no, it's the League Cup. The League Cup.
League Cup.
We crashed out of it because we had to because we had COVID and we had to forfeit like half the games.
Listen, mate, quarterfinals, it's a tough ask.
It's not.
Was it again?
I think it was Ross County. I think.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a good. It wasn't.
It might not have been, but anyway.
No,
No,
Falkirk.
do you know what as well,
What
right?
about
We might have been. We were undefeated as well the whole season up until that point going forward. It was looking rosy until that point.
No, we had to like forfeit like half our our group stage games because we had like COVID. Our COVID is going.
You should have offered to play.
I should have. I brought my boots. You know.
I brought my boots.
This man once got bet 15-0 in a 6-a-side
I was
match. He
standing-
was perfect for
I was
Falkirk.
standing at the gate at the Falkirk Stadium with my boots, and Paul Sheeran didn't come in and offer me a game, so I was quite disappointed in that actually.
He's a box still in the Scottish Cup, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was Race Rovers. He's got beat.
What a team, by the way. In case you're not watching, they're basically like a modern day Barcelona, in case you're not aware of
Like
football.
Lindball.
They've
if you're not
probably got
familiar.
the same amount of money as Barcelona.
No, I think they're more rich.
I think they're probably more lucrative because they're not. They have more than negative 1 billion or whatever.
Very true. Yes, very true.
Who knows? Maybe they are the most in debt club in the world as well.
I think it's $1 billion in debt or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's fucking mental.
It's not ideal.
No,
That's fair.
it's definitely
Um,
not.
But yeah, no. So would you go back and do that again then? Like, do the press at Falkirk and that. I know you said you'd do anything, but like, would that be something that you'd enjoy doing again as well? Like,
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I mean, the team, like the Falkirk team last season was very bad. It was really bad. It was quite depressing to see it. But it was.
it's
at the same
different
time,
every other year.
It's a great experience to be in the stadium and being in the press box, and after the game you get interviews with real like professional players and like the manager and everything as well. And it was quite intense because all the managers and players were on edge, obviously, because they're just getting beat every week. So it was like,
And you were wanting to slap them about as soon as you got there.
especially with Gary Holt as well. Gary Holt was the manager at the end after the last two got sacked, and he was, God, you had to be really careful what you said. So he would bite your head off like he was. He
Really?
was not for mucking about, like guy. There was a guy like Nick, and he just got like lambasted, like.
Why?
on
What did
the-
you
on the
say to
corridor.
him?
Oh, I can't remember now. What was it said? So I can't remember off the top of my head what he
But
said.
not that bad at the end of the day.
I don't think it was too bad. It was some like. I didn't really blink an eye at it when he said it, but he was no happy with it, like, and he was going off at him.
Are you a season ticket holder? Do you go to games?
I've not been. I do go to every game I can, but I work at Stirling Uni now to go to all the Stirling Uni games, which means I can't really make much of the games.
It's probably the same level of football, to be honest. So
With the highlight reels that I made, it looks much better.
I don't blame you. I really don't.
See as well, like, just in case maybe anyone that's listening might be interested in that kind of game, like, how did you get involved in that kind of side of, like, how did you get to, like, be working for, like, Stirling Uni and also, like, Falkirk? What did you do to get yourself in that position?
Best advice I can give is just send that email. Like, guys, just if you want something, you don't get it if you don't ask for it.
You don't buy a ticket, you don't.
Yeah. As Alan Smith would say, like, people.
And also as well, if you don't support that team, just Photoshop yourself as a bairn in that kit and then just send it away to them saying, I've always been a fan, love your work.
Never say you're like an aspiring journalist or an aspiring software engineer. Whatever.
Like, say you are.
You are that, and you work to make that happen.
Is that? Did you purposely make the pun there, or you said the bairn? Did you purposely?
No.
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 For any reference, Falkirk are called the Bairns, didn't they? So
Yeah. I didn't make that, but, you know.
But
we're
so famous.
Yeah, I meant it.
Yeah.
Fucking
We're so
sly
famous
fuck
that
Fucking
Yeah.
that.
edit, by the way. Fucking sly edits, man. Fucking what a pun, by the way.
Our very own Liam Whyte.
Fucking tell you what, man.
Genius.
What a horrible fucking name for your fucking. Like, as your nickname, do you know what I mean?
What, the Bairns?
Aye.
What?
That's horrible, man. I hate
Unique.
the word in general.
I don't mind that. It's not
I hate
that
the
sad.
word, like, because I use Wayne's, like,
You use wings.
wow. Let's cut that right out.
You think I could be arsed?
I use the word Wayne's.
But the Jers, talk about lazy.
That is
It's
fucking worse.
Technically, it's the Bears or Teddy Bears. Or, we'll go off there.
Right, that is skimpy.
Right, shut up. You've got the
The
Dons.
Dons. What's the name?
Where does it come from?
The
Dandy Dons?
Aberdeen. No.
Aberdeen.
Because that's what you're, an Aberdonian. Dons.
Donian, no Don.
You can't say up the Donian something.
Nobody should celebrate the Dons, period. But the Bairns, I get it because they're all into wins. But I get that aspect, right? The Gels, you're just taking the last part of your name. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's
Just like someone got, you can't.
What we've learned from this is that football fans as a collective are pretty unimaginative.
No. Aberdeen are.
No, if anything, we're the most because that's got not in name. We actually went an extra
You
length.
just went, let's just fling 4 letters together and just call it something. You know, it could have been the cunts for all you know, but
It was back in 1905, whatever. So it was just a typewriter at the time. We just like, can I think of a name?
Aye.
Poof, head on the typewriter.
and it's came up with the Dons. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Whereas
fucking slanderous.
the Waynes,
Right.
Fiddlers, that sort of idea. I get that completely.
Right. Anyway, League One glory hunting bastard. I'm the only true fan here.
Right.
Even though I've not been to a game in nearly 3 years now, which is
No,
quite sad to
the
think of.
man's trying to organise PSG tickets.
What a man
Yeah,
I am.
tickets.
What a man
Yeah,
I am.
yeah.
Before Aberdeen tickets, by the way. May I
It's because I actually can't get the Dons tickets anymore.
No, I wouldn't want to. They
No,
don't
it's sold
sell at
out.
stadiums. No, they don't.
No, I'm telling you right now. Well,
Well,
not
they'll
every
walk
game.
out.
Not every game. But they are, like, genuinely, because obviously the way I work as well, I have tried to get tickets.
They've no maxed at the stadium yet, have they?
They're not allowed to yet. They're only
Is it just-
18.
is it
It's
just-
18. Yeah, it's 18 they're allowed to do at the moment.
See, I find that very unfair.
Yeah.
Like, how Rangers are allowed 55,000 and
We're
In the
allowed
lower
18.
league, you weren't able to take showers after the game. Like, all showers need to be risk assessed.
If anything, surely they're maybe washing away some fucking germs or diseases in the
You
shower.
weren't allowed to be. Yeah, it's like. But then you could go after the game with all your teammates and go out to like food bars.
Imagine saying that to Messi. Sorry, mate. No showers for you on the way back home.
it's like a mad statement you've just had there, to be honest. We went for, 54,000 in Ibrox, 58,000 Celtic Park. And
No, but it's just a contrast. Like you're allowed all this, but like for some reason, that reason you're.
no,
like,
I get amateurs different, but like Aberdeen, they should be allowed to seat the 23,000 or something. That's
28.
28,000 that's allowed in that stadium. They should be allowed to seat them.
I can't actually remember if our main stand still if half of it's still technically closed or not because they close it for
Either
repairs
way,
and
25
COVID.
plus.
Yeah.
Between 25 28,000, they should be allowed that.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't sell it out, but it would be at least nice to have the option.
Fans have waited such a long time.
Aye, they would sell it first game, 100%.
Oh, they have. That's the thing. They have fully
No,
sold
but I mean,
out.
if, say they gave it 28,000
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah,
order, you're maxing that stadium
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm.
And it's the same with probably all the teams in the league. Even Falkirk, they would max out the stadium
Oh,
if
100%.
they
Yeah.
had the opportunity because it's been so long. Will they continuously get max stadiums? No. But that's,
Until Aberdeen win the league, then it'll be.
right. Well, see you in the next life.
But Stephen Glass will ensure that will happen definitely.
Listen, he's made a good start. I'm actually surprised at how well it started.
Started the league off very well.
Big Ramirez is a signing. They finally got a decent striker.
No, do not, for the love of God, do not jinx it.
Arguably one of the best strikers in the league, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a shame he doesn't even score 30.
No.
Aye, no, he'll score 35.
35, yeah.
35 this
I
season.
was being conservative there.
Aye, no, 35 and probably about 15 assists.
Listen, we've had a pretty good record recently. Okay, so hopefully it stays like that.
Aye, some signing. I fully back that.
Best season signing of the season. Up there with.
You know, I looked. Do you know as well? Right? I looked up like before, like when he signed with us. Oh, his record's not great.
I know. But people thrive in different leagues.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, for example, it doesn't matter. Like, you think like whatever your famous ones like Joey Barton, you think that'd be a stick on, but he's absolutely.
I've never been more happy at a player to fail.
Aye, he was a prick. The flip side of that is somebody like Stuart Armstrong, who was poor. He was okay at Dundee United.
Aye.
He was fucking very below average at Celtic, and he went to Southampton and became an actual fucking player.
I think it's not. He wasn't like poor, but he showed flashes. He showed
It's that thing
See,
though,
see
like
what
when
it
you have
said.
like good managers and good players around you, that'll help it.
See out of the two, Gary Mackay-Steven made he made an
I
impact.
yeah, that's
love
like. And Gary
that.
Mackay-Steven now.
Oh, you're throwing me back to good times.
Gary
Oh,
Mackay-Steven was like poor as well,
Like-
in the last few years as well.
He showed proper flashes and then totally went off the boil.
Mackay, Stephen, Madison, and fucking Hayes. Oh, this was so good.
You know what's mad as well? Johnny Hayes
What a player.
became such a good player for Aberdeen.
He was so bad at Celtic.
Fucking paid cunt, fucking flop.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if the manager really had faith in them at Celtic.
Nah, he was left back
to be
most of the
honest,
time.
let's on the table. Celtic bought Gary Mackay-Steven and Stuart Armstrong for Dundee United just so they would win the final.
Yeah.
That was the only reason they purchased them. They managed to acquire another like 14 mil off of Stuart Armstrong, so which looked like a good signing. At
I
the
think
time.
he was a decent investment anyway. He was still young. We could probably improve on him. I think Stuart Armstrong was a decent player.
Southampton overspent for him massively.
Yeah, I know.
With what he
He's doing
showed.
well for them though.
I know, but what he showed at Celtic, it was
They
never worth that.
overspent,
Man.
yeah.
It's
Everyone's
the same with
saying this.
Aya. Like Aya was a good defender, very good in our league, but he's
You can never
Isn't it
predict what
worth
they're going to do at leagues. Like people try to compare the quality of different leagues, but like say Shane Duffy, people were saying he was a stick-on, like as like one of the best defenders in the league, but he was absolutely woeful. Like,
Well, that's the thing. He done well
Oh,
in the Prem.
honestly,
and then,
right, hand on heart, he was probably the best player for Rangers all season.
yeah,
Nah, but come on, Liam, take it serious for a minute, right? By far, Rangers Player of the Year, and we'd take him back at Celtic in a heartbeat.
Joe as well. The worst part is right. Fucking first game of the season, he got man of the match for Brighton.
yeah, he was playing for Brighton. He was doing great.
Man, he got man of
He's
the
a
match.
baller. Take him back at Celtic in a heartbeat. Honestly,
That's the
what a
thing.
player.
Infiltrated.
Just different leagues have different styles of play. You can't really compare
Aye.
players.
Was that a Jeremy fucking ping pong, whatever the fuck he
Ping pong,
He
yeah.
was fucking shite and all.
Yeah.
Utter shite. And then that Laxell came for AC Milan. Oh, yeah, cunt.
Aye.
And they didn't even want him back. That's how fucking bad he was. They offered to waive the fee for Celtic to take him.
Aye.
Or her, whatever it was.
That's the thing, and he might be. There was a fight his beach brace.
Wee Benidorm lassie. He's fucking an ugly bastard, man.
That's the thing, and he might be great marauding Roberto Carlos and for
Nah,
AC Milan or
honestly,
whatever.
you fling that cunt into a Falkirk side and he would still not get the bit. He was
Nah,
fucking
big Leon McCann would keep him out.
Aye, that guy. What a player. Get a football, by the way, because real talk is going to keep going like that.
I know. This is the
The
problem.
football chat
I knew when this was.
Yeah,
I knew when
I
this
would
was
never
started.
I blame you massively.
We have to curb ourselves.
Nah, before we entirely cut off the football chat, because James, we've got a bit of a running tradition with recent guests at the moment. Those that we have played pro clubs with, we've asked a very important question, Graham. Now, you are... I have to say, Graham, you do go missing from time to time in the group chat. You make yourself anonymous.
That's what makes it so special when I'm
No, but it is true, but it's also, you're basically the Neymar of the group. It has to be said. You're just not showing up.
It's been my sister's birthday for the past few months.
He's had to go away. He's had to go far abroad for that. But either way, you go missing a lot. But you have played a lot of games for us. We want to know, cards on the. What is it we done? Was it top 3 best and then the worst player we did?
Aye.
Yeah. So we want top 3 who's the best at pro clubs that you've seen play. And we want the worst.
Is it in like?
And
is it-
like
is it-
with the group of folk
But-
that you've played with around.
You can't put yourself at worst,
Oh right. Okay.
not best, because it's
I
not.
wasn't going to put myself on But, okay, so does any particular order? So like, it's
Aye,
first after
aye,
last.
first is first, second is second, first.
And then just last.
When you said first is first and the second was second, I couldn't have actually guessed that third was actually going to be third. So, thanks for putting that.
I left that one at summer.
But no, first, although he's frustrating, I'd probably say Dylan.
Oh,
Yeah,
you finally got one, Dylan.
All
It's
I'm saying
taken.
is- all I'm saying is cut that out.
It's taken the 4th guest, but we finally got
There's
one.
times when I'm absolutely like in a shite load of space in the box, and Dylan is like fanning about doing Cruyff turns and
Yeah.
daft like scoop turns and
That's why he's also as well the easiest to wind up on it, which is funny as fuck.
I think he does get tilted as well. It's like when he gets frustrated in that game, like sometimes he just does like daft stuff that he can't like.
So top would be Dylan. Top would be Dylan.
I go with you in
second.
I go with you in second. Because
You bet.
Dylan's like, cut this
Dylan's
out,
like,
just
you played
cut
with a
this out,
variety.
just
You
play
played with a
back,
variety
yeah.
of goalie.
Just go like.
Oh,
straight
I mean,
out.
if you're basing it
I
off that,
mean, if you're basing it off that, then it's outrageous.
At least you're
You play me up front.
No, but I think if like you're playing goals,
No, I
like
can't.
good saves, but I think sometimes you don't. I think you're not, but you're looking. You're going or whatever.
90%.
Oh, I get Fine, probably 95%.
But like if we glued your eyes to the screen, don't be right.
I probably do.
You know, like
I thought-
following on for that, like the fucking eyes on like
Yeah,
tail
yeah.
sticks.
Real talk,
Yeah.
Pimmy
Real
goals,
talk,
I'm shite,
Pimmy
right?
goals, I'm shite, right?
In that I'm on my phone.
In that, I'm on my phone.
You put me outfield
Put
and
me
Camo.
outfield and Camo.
But anyway, so
But
Dylan,
anyway, so Dylan,
who's your third?
who's your third?
Okay.
This is where
I'm
I'm
okay. Let's put the old G ball.
I buy that for you.
I buy that fully, by the way.
For the moments I
For
believe.
the moments, I believe.
Yeah, no, like
But
you
if
are, no, you did. I think it was the last time you came on. You came on for like 3 games and one you scored 5 all fucking like Ibra style
The
goals.
moments he broke with the free kicks alone.
Incredible. You actually missed it. I put Sam on the free
Sam on the
kick.
free kick.
Top bins.
So
Dylan,
Dylan,
you.
me, you.
This is
Who's
who
last?
is
Who
the worst?
is the worst?
Who is the worst?
Is it
Well,
You've not won a lot.
You've not won a lot of games with us.
I couldn't disagree with
I
that.
couldn't disagree with that one.
I think I don't know if it's Keith.
I don't know if it's him.
Or I'm getting mixed up with somebody else.
The one that plays CDM
He plays CDM every day,
and he can get sent off.
can get sent off.
Yeah. I don't mean it.
It's like
I
I think he's in.
oh yeah, no.
I played it early on.
I think early on.
In general,
In general, it's FIFA.
Dreadful.
Dreadful.
You play him in a game,
You play him in a game, you'll beat him.
8-9
Pass.
But see in the one
See
row.
in the one
You
row.
said it's CDM.
Take the ball back.
Take the ball back.
But not even that. See it
Even that, see it.
for where he started.
Where
The
he
CDM.
started, the
I'll give him it, because he's actually the one that's
the
sacrifice and stay
See when he played up front.
See when he played up front.
He was fucking shocking.
Shocking.
Shock.
Yeah, you need a target, man.
You need a
That's what I
target,
keep.
that's what I keep.
Andy Cup.
Andy
Have
Cup.
you gave your
If you gave your all.
I did.
I
think I put myself either second or third last, which I think is fair.
Neither I feel.
Yeah, I still put it. Sam hasn't. I will get actually since he has came back. He has actually improved. He might be better. I'm still refused to say that Ewan's better than me. Ewan is the fucking. If you're listening, you're fucking awful at FIFA.
He is by far the worst.
He doesn't play that much, does he? He's not
No, he does now. He does now.
He plays more than me for sure, man.
But I think like
I don't know about Andrew.
We've all had
To
this
that
5
point.
years FIFA experience. You know what I mean?
I'll give him.
What'd you say about
Like Andrew, who played during the past few nights, like he'll score one game, genuinely.
Me and Andrew play up front.
The partnership
The
is
partnership is unmatched, fucking match.
But see if you put him up
See if
front,
you put him up front, it's only like Dylan.
Mate, he was.
Dynamic cam.
Andrew's up front.
Andrew's up front.
You'll see why.
You see why
I
I say I'm the best.
Ben,
That's
I know, yeah. But yeah, no, thank you for giving us your order. I'm happy just for another guest that's put me on last, which is all right to him.
Mine. The top three,
The top three, it would be.
I'd say I'm
way
better.
Way better.
And the most modest.
Lean been big.
It's just
Facts. They're sorry the
stats.
But me, second place, I would normally have said
Dylan,
but he does so
he
much
does so
stupid
much
shit.
shit.
He
He can't be put up there.
honestly,
Everybody,
Mitchell on his days, second best by far. Honestly,
He didn't say that when he was
You know that, Jan. You're absolutely screamed at the entire time.
Literally all this
I fucking want him, mate.
If I hadn't played, I just listened. I would have thought he's like, what?
It can be, but nice. I'd say Mitchell on his days probably second or third, and then it would be a toss-up.
You know, with Dylan, him and Dylan.
Who sounds
Oh,
lost?
yeah.
Good fucking
In fact, I'd honestly
I'd
put
honestly
a
put a shout for Keith being in third place.
because he does so
Because he does so much work.
Does
You feel the yellow, you
It's
It's a nice, respectable 42 degrees in this room as of current. It's a nice Scottish summer you get to experience. Just think of how great it will be, by the way, in the winter if we're in here doing it. Because I've got the heat on full blast underneath. I will be fucking dead.
That would be
my
top three in
top
the
three in the bottom.
Just reiterate.
Is he born comfortably mid?
Top three, you, Dylan. I'll go probably Mitchell. And then last is you.
I think it's unfair for.
I'll probably put myself second last, maybe or third last. I think I might have, like, no offense to
You're better than Sam.
yeah, better than Sam. Just not by much, but I'm
Better than
yeah.
you.
If you'd said otherwise, I would have thrown this computer.
Better than the two.
I think I'm better than Duncan at points as well.
Oh no, yeah. No, you know something.
Duncan shite.
Like, yeah, really.
I think who else has been on that's played well?
Judging
Andrew off of the fucking 10 games I played with him, I'd say I'm better. If you're wrong to say that he's better,
I
Either get
second place
Andrew,
but just behind
just behind
me,
me,
or
or
you get
a Ewan
A Ewan
Price
Price
stand.
stand.
That's the level. There's no in between.
in between.
I'd say you're
you're
probably
probably
fourth. Because
you've not played in a while.
Yeah,
You
you do need to stop being a shite bag. Come on, you need to accept
I
your
think that's
responsibility.
hard.
That's what you need to be on to
provide
provide that.
I just stay.
That's where it's been going on. You've been playing your fucking position the entire time. Yes.
God, I need to save.
That's how bad things have
gotten.
gotten. Dylan's tearing his hair out every 10 seconds because it's
I like taking it in just past it.
See the issue when you play
is
is Dylan. He's
so
issue
issue
because he always
plays it for
Yeah, it's always me.
Me and you up front, we could do the business, but you put Dylan up front because that's where he wants to play. And he likes to go wide and run because he's fucking guys with pace and whip it and Disney got nine.
Whipping it, I'm tall, but whipping it in is not.
Wait.
I think
if we do end up playing tonight, for all time's sake,
we'll maybe like a 4-1-2 or something like that.
You're just fucking shite. See the way I hit you utter shite. He just runs and he hits the byline and tries to single it on the box and it doesn't work.
He'll get better.
He will get better.
One day
maybe.
I think I'm some.
I will give some credit. That's actually playing this regular the other night though.
famous Harry people. We
We're
We're getting so much into it.
Anyway, so obviously
a tough year
with
with COVID and that as well, and going past. How
was it in the Fleming household? Because it's a wee bit more of a packed household, obviously living at home as well during it all.
It's stressful times as well. You get in the square and you get through it.
Did you? Because
I don't know.
I can come to you obviously had COVID relatively recently
as well.
What was
it like for those that maybe haven't had it at any point?
Because I know what it's like.
I had my first jag, and it was still there was like a couple of days. It was ramping up. It was like a little bit like there's a night I had just shivering cold, and I had just aches like my legs were like jelly, and then I woke up one morning and I was like the full business, the full card. It was like
Full Monty.
yeah, it was like headache, sickness, aches everywhere, shivering, and like.
Have you had it as well?
COVID.
Yeah.
Well, back at the start of March. 2020.
See, I've been working up and out of it, and
I got 3 days before the lockdown, the very first one.
just mad. I wonder why I had it.
Everything tastes disgusting. The worst part, everything tastes disgusting.
I could have dry toast for about 2 weeks and that was about it.
Yeah, just the other day.
I'll get mine next Monday. It's weird thinking.
Get your jag
Yes, very good point.
Fully endorsed by the Sitting and Chatting podcast.
No,
Hey.
it's that. Yeah, I will say, right, genuinely, and I don't mean to say this as like athletics, I have genuinely felt worse with like colds and flus and that before, but it was still fucked. It was still so bad.
It was only had the full business there for a day.
Oh,
After
really?
that-
Only for a full day?
Yeah, and then it started to get ramping down a little bit after that. It was fine. But I still had to isolate in that. It was stuck in my, like, obviously I had family in my house, so it was just the room, my room door was closed.
The isolation part for your own family is fucking mad.
Because, I mean, it was shite enough for me, like, just only being able to use my bedroom and the living room. Like, I can't imagine what it's like just having one fucking room that you can't leave. It must
Did
be
you have
fucking
to, did you
horrific.
go out for fresh air or that, or how did it work?
Nah, I couldn't.
He'd out the window, just...
Yeah, out the window. I just for 20 minutes. Like, if I ever need it, I just like.
Did anybody else catch it?
No, we're all fine. Luckily.
Did you, like, what was, like, how did you get, like, your dinners and that? Was it just, like, your mom, like, left outside for you on
It
a
was
plate
great.
of that?
WhatsApp messages in the family chat. And a wee
Yeah,
plate of
I
dinner.
fancy a Domino's, any chance? Please, your son's got COVID.
Fantastic. A wee cup of tea. But that's the thing. I felt a bit like a pain in the arse because I don't know if you need this, but like it was constant. I needed constant water as well. I needed water all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was easy enough for me because obviously I don't really think about it since I was going in the kitchen. I'm good, but obviously if you don't even have like an ensuite bathroom or that, you're a bit fucked, aren't you?
Yeah, it was just because the taps didn't stay, and it was like it was just like, yeah, like throat was dry. I had to have, you have to keep your fluids going, but
Yeah, that's probably the hardest part, and it's because obviously if you've not got a tap nearby or a constant flow of fucking water, then you're fucked, really, aren't you?
I mean, I've never been someone that's gave a shit before about owning a garden or having like an outdoor space, but fuck me, that first period, I've never in my life wanted a garden more.
This is it, because obviously when lockdown hit, we were obviously lucky enough to have the hot tub.
And obviously as well, right at the start, for like the first like 2 or 3 months was gorgeous weather as well.
So like we had the hot tub, sit in the garden, whether it just be the four of us, because you weren't allowed anybody else, it didn't matter, do you know what I mean? Because you had the hot tub, still had beverages, and you were good to go. But
and also as well, you just had that wee shop that's right next to you as well, so you didn't have to travel far or that.
So that's why I didn't feel the effects of lockdown as much as anybody else, because we had everything there.
You're actually still working from home. That's like I'm like me and Graham as well. Basically had like 4 months off.
What's that?
I mean, at least you weren't like work. You had to actually work from home though. You didn't get the benefit of being off work for like me or Graham.
I think we had about 3 weeks or a month off work.
Yeah, see, I was about off for about 4 or something.
See, I didn't have long at all.
I was off for ages. We got shut down for ages, and then we
You
got
still
opened
being
up.
paid?
Aye.
Full 100 or 80?
It was 80%. And then we went back for a few weeks, and there was like a second wave, and we were like, all right, back to the furlough.
Do you know what's mad for me thing as well? You know, it's nearly a year since I went to Jersey now.
It's mad. I forget that happened during all this.
Yeah,
shit.
I know.
It's mad where the fucking 2 years of our lives went, by the way. It's fucking.
It's just disappeared, by the way. It's actually like, I've just lost 2 years.
You've not got a fucking clue what happened a year ago. I genuinely don't. Like,
We're probably still inside.
Because they all merged together, because it was just another day, like, it's like the PlayStation. Like the
you
PlayStation
had
or whatever.
fuck all to do, man. That'd have been a good time for cunts to go in clubs and fucking work on their fucking progress. You know what I mean? But like, it's.
So, speaking of which, obviously,
that was dedicated to
By the
Warzone.
way, yeah, Warzone got us through fucking lockdown.
mate, like, I mean, like, I don't like to give Call of Duty props, but fuck me, that game saved my boredom during lockdown.
Yeah, I played a
actually
lot of
fucking did.
That's why Warzone peaked so much. Like, see
If that was released any other year,
if
it
it was
would.
released any other year, it'd probably just be a bang average.
It sounds disrespectful, but people had literally nothing else. Literally nothing
But it
else to do.
became something because everybody tried it, and then every majority of people would
And
say
then-
they enjoyed it.
And then Among Us obviously came out as well afterwards, like literally, like fucking, I don't know what geniuses did that, but fuck me, take my hat off to them, they fucking
Among Us
saved
was
it.
out long before lockdown.
Yeah, but like it peaked again in popularity, like just after
They
Warzone
rebranded
peaked.
and then
Yeah.
surfaced it to the market.
Do you know what? Do you know what was mad? See, when I was like off sick with COVID, right at the very start of lockdown, Sam messaged me one night. He was like, "Oh, you want to come and play with like our mates on this game? Like it's a free game."
I remember that.
And we went and played, and obviously like, I thought it was pretty good fun, but then obviously never played again. And then I seen everyone going on mad about this game. I was like, oh, that's the game I played with Sam like fucking months ago.
I don't think people understood the concept to begin with until YouTubers got on the trend.
Yeah.
That's what peaked that game, to be honest. It was the creators that made it fucking happen. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, just because the table's rattling, you know, just...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, but I promise I'm not depriving them of water breaks on this.
And this fucking heat as well, by the way.
I
Fucking
know.
disgusting.
I'm a great host.
Fucking
Um,
I took it along. All the games that were in my backlog, I like fired through them all. I took the opportunity to do that.
have either of you been to a club yet since everything's reopened?
No,
or?
I've not been.
I
I think I'm too old. I don't like.
No, like, I will say, right, like, I did say, like, I'm not going until I get my second vaccination. Like, there's no fucking chance. Like, I won't, like, wait, like, a week for, like...
What is it
everything's
script
selling.
with it? Is it still mask on?
No, mask off once you get in.
Mask off.
I've got a gig, a music gig next week.
What are you
Just
going to go
roughly
and see?
A band called Retro Video Club. I've seen them in SGW3. It's like
Aye.
venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, aye.
I take it that's your first one since everything's
It's on the
happened.
motorway, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a pain to get to.
It's some club though. I remember David that I used to work with, he does gigs in there all the time.
I might just tell me.
And he done a hardcore gig in there, and by far one of the best clubs.
Aye, so I'm looking forward to that. So I think I might just have to get a taxi for the station or something like that.
I think it's in 20 minutes or something.
Do you think like you'll go back once like and soon or?
Probably, just because you go get out of your system, but genuinely I'm not in any hurry for it.
I was but I've lost like I do I'll be honest, I do kind of have the urge to go back again just to kind of get that sort of first night experience, like get out of the way, like be like right, I've gone back, I've done it, I've had a great night, I've got smashed off my face. I can now just do it occasionally.
How much of that urge will be filled like within the first half an hour I've been there, and you'll be like, this is terrible.
Well, considering it's food bar, it will be pretty much guaranteed. But actually, fuck, I forgot I'm meant to be going out to Glasgow in September. Shit, that'll be my first experience. Oh, God.
I think my first experience back to any kind of nightlife will be a wedding, and that's when is it? Next month I've got one.
I'm sure there might be an opportunity beforehand for Paris at some point.
I don't know. Can't see it. I'm just a boring cunt these days, you know.
Yeah, to be fair.
Fuck it.
Not much is different though.
Always been the same. Fuck it.
So yeah, obviously one more year then of uni to go before you're finishing in the big bad world. What is there you've got to do this year? Is it all like dissertation stuff, or is it more sort of hands-on experience you need to do?
Yeah, a bit of both of that actually. Really, I need to sort out a work experience like a week, and also need to dissertation in the second semester as well. But it's more of it's a journalism project that we've got a specific type of dissertation that we can do, where it's like a 10,000 word like series of articles you can do instead of just one big.
Oh, so like you can split it up.
Yeah, so like you could do like 1,000 word articles.
I don't think I've said 10,000
No,
this year.
no, do you know what the thing is though, right? See, in all honesty, see when I first went to college and that, see the thought of writing fucking 1,000 words on a bit of
I think
paper.
once you start writing,
Fuck.
it's fine.
No,
Yeah.
mate, trust me, holy fucking shit, like, because I never thought I could write 1,000 words on a bit of paper, you
1,000
fucking
doesn't
mental.
seem mad to me though.
No, but like, to me that started off sounding mad, and then I'd do like 2,000 just because I'd spout off on shite, and then be like, oh shit, I need to cut things out, and then they'd be like, oh, you now need to do 5,000, and so I'd be like, oh fuck, and then you just keep going, and eventually you hit it.
10,000 words is probably like, it's probably not even half a chapter of a book though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It's 5.
What's a chapter?
It's like six. It's like 6 A4 pages, I would say probably.
A chapter's 9 pages, isn't it? Or 8 pages.
Be a few I think it'd be a few chapters, like 5 chapters, 5 chapters.
Depends on the size of the book and also the age range that it's
Yeah,
for.
like the Bible or something. It's probably a lot.
Probably about a page in the Bible, to be honest.
But I like the proper dissertation is like 20,000.
20.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
the dissertation.
Do you think you'll go off and do a masters afterwards, or?
Nah, fuck that shit. My mate who's just before me, he's got a job in without. We've got roughly the same experience. He helped me with starting media, and he did the work experience I did, and he got a job in the Bother in like digital media communications and things like that. So I'm looking just to go fire straight in. And I've also got that. I've still got the HMC in the bank as well. From college, I've still got the first year certificate.
Nah, well, listen, best of luck to you, and I know you're going to smash it, and it's going to be really fucking weird when you're finished because you are the last one left.
Yeah, you'll feel old when I'm finished.
Mate, I feel old now. I don't need you to finish to make me feel old, but it is weird to think. When you're finished, you are literally the last of my mates that at uni that'll be finished, which is weird to think. No more in higher education, or any education actually, I suppose.
You're old as fuck anyway.
Yeah, I know. Just fucking watch yourself. You're only a month behind. Less actually. Well, no, the birth certificates are there. There is a birth certificate. I'll just put Jimmy's Facebook on screen now.
That's on private.
as of this second. Right. Do you have anything that you want to add, or shall we move on to the game?
I mean, I'm happy to find the game for sure.
Now,
Liam's going to explain it to
no.
you. Done you there. Fucking done you there. I'll get the game on.
Do you remember the game from last time?
Vaguely.
Right,
Yes.
great. I don't need to explain it.
Nice
No.
fucking try.
Right, for the viewers at home, every single week that we have a guest on, we play a wee lovely game called Hot Seat, which have yet to sponsor
It's
us,
just this
by
word
the way.
association thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep, word association. So the way it works is, in a wee second, Jamie's going to give you a letter. Now, with that letter, you need to say words corresponding to a statement that he gives or a question. So, for example, your letter might be T, and he might say toiletries. You could say, like, toilet roll, something like that. Now, the aim is obviously to get 10 questions correct in the fastest time possible. If obviously you are struggling, you can say pass. That will, or if you give us an answer which we feel like is incorrect or you're taking the piss, we'll pass it for you. That does add time onto it, but obviously it's a bit quicker than just sitting there going.
Is there any pronouns allowed? Like places or places?
Yeah, no. Any words that basically starts off with it, you're fine basically.
Oh.
Because some of them ask for like countries or that begin with it, so you're fine in that regard. Now, obviously, the idea is to get 10 correct in the quickest time possible. If you get 5 or under, it's a DNF. We will allow you one more try afterwards, but don't get 2 DNFs in a row. Now, obviously, you did do this, and 3.5 years ago, we've got the board. It's obviously had quite a few names since. Apologies to all the viewers that can't see us. This is more for Graham's benefit at this point.
Oh,
So when you last, you're pretty much exactly mid-table. So when you last done it, you got a 108 with 8 correct. So obviously as well quite a few names on this board that you're aware of. So anyone that you want to beat this time going?
Who do I want to beat?
Obviously whoever it is, say out the time just so we know what the viewers have to sort of aim for.
I've already got you beat Liam this way. Jamie, is that you at the bottom left? I want to beat Jamie.
That's it. Aim big.
I want to beat Jamie.
I like that. Aim big.
I mean,
When
yeah.
about a bit of
Do you know what, actually, I hope you do just beat him so I have the excuse to move him over to the next side of the board.
Plenty of room under Ben.
No chance.
Fucking
No
plenty of
chance.
You
No
can move Ben out.
No. If Graham beats you, you're going over to that side for that comment.
Well, he's getting skipped a few then.
Right, anyway, Jamie, I presume you're ready.
Oh.
Feel free to take it away.
Right, so the first letter that you've been given is L. Do you wish to keep that, or you do get one opportunity to re-roll it?
I'll take a roll.
Take a re-roll.
Ooh, brave effort. To be fair, that was a risky decision, but it paid off.
Could have got X there or something.
I would have took either or, to be fair.
I think an S is a bit easier, but yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
Right, so I'll count us down.
Okay.
And then we'll go. Right. 3, 2, 1. Oh, this froze. Oh. Actors and actresses.
Sylvester Stallone.
Things that are hot.
Sausage.
Fictional characters.
Pass.
Pass.
Hobbies.
Skiing.
Crimes.
Pass.
Pass.
Creepy crawlies.
Spider.
Things you can sit on.
Stool.
Comics or toiletries. Cosmetics or toiletries.
Just toiletries.
Aye.
I don't know. Pass.
Soap.
Nicknames.
Nicknames.
Yeah.
Pass.
Ocean things.
Sea cucumber.
I purely passed that just to fucking right. So the time you actually got was 1 minute and 50, right?
Oh, fuck.
But
Oh,
but
Jesus.
there's time to
But
get
you got 5 wrong, which will claim as a DNF and give you another chance, right? Although you did technically get ocean things right. We don't speak of that.
Oh, but sea cucumbers, right, come on.
Yeah. Right, but you want a
No,
reroll
that's what
here.
I'm saying, but I'm giving you a reroll.
Oh, right.
Right, your next letter is A. Now you
Oh.
can reroll it.
Oh, take any.
Take an A. Because that's what you want. Right. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Hobbies.
Archery.
Things that are black. Clothing.
A jumper.
Things you shouldn't touch.
Ass.
Fictional characters.
AY.
Adjectives.
As.
Terms of endearment.
Pass.
Items in this room.
Ew, shit. Pass.
Celebrities.
Pass.
Diseases.
AIDS.
Is that?
Thanks for joining us.
Nah, go on. I mean, you still got your old time, so you're
Yeah,
safe. But I think
I
I can hazard a guess you might not have beaten your old time.
No,
Would you like to take a guess at the time?
Does he have
it
to?
was terrible.
It's like digging his own grave.
It's what one. So
I'm not sure.
what do you think?
I'll go one. I'll be kind and say 140.
Wait.
It's worse than that.
Aye.
No, I should.
Put it
Oh,
this way,
no.
you're a ball hair off boat with the board.
What has he got?
2 minutes and 6 seconds.
Wow.
With
I didn't think I'd ever. I didn't.
easily 6 correct.
I didn't think I'd ever see the day where we got another 2 minute time.
I'll keep old time. That's all.
I mean, you're lucky. We will allow it because we've done that with previous guests. Whoever
I didn't think you aimed big to get me.
is a minute off you.
I didn't realise A would be so shit. I thought A would be fun.
Well,
Some of them were.
what I will say is,
Fucking
right,
others right now.
what I will say as well, right? See, everyone apart from Ewan that we've had on as a guest, every single one that's retried to do that game again have done so much shitter compared to the first time.
Aye.
Like, Fergus fucking was all the way off the board. Dylan's failed miserably every time he's tried to get better in it again. You and me have both failed as well when we retried.
We've never retried.
Yeah, we did. We done it like in the 10th episode, we done it again.
Ah, did we?
Yeah, but we failed like our old, beat our old times. So
Don't
yeah,
worry about it.
well, yeah. Don't worry, 100th episode, you know.
There
I mean, we're not changing them, but because I mean, at this point, it's a wee bit biased if we
I
fucking.
mean, if I beat 27 seconds with 10 correct, you better believe it's going up in that fucking.
It's a fuck.
Well, the whole ball's going to snap. How about that?
I'd like to see you try. It's made of fucking metal.
I'll snap that. I'm not going to do it, but I will.
Always tempted to order a whiteboard just to see this.
Yeah.
Anyway, Graham, I really do appreciate you coming back on. It's been a pleasure having you and good to see you again.
It's been good to be on.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add before we're finished?
No, just get your vaccine, guys.
That we do endorse from the Sit and Chat
Not the
podcast.
slightest.
And buy a Poker season ticket.
That we don't. Anyway, until next time, I've been Liam Whyte.
I've been Jim Allan.
I've been Graham Fleming.
And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Talk football and current events. Sitting and chatting with the very best guests. With two Scottish boys and we're loving it. So if you like witty banter, check the former #1 podcast on iTunes. Sitting and chatting.